Back in your lives, ladies and gentlemen, FindYourFX.com and Bulletproof Traders back in action today. We're going to be talking about the Litecoin. This is my top favorite pending trading opportunity. So we're taking this from the watch list perspective. We're not in a position, so we're fully objective, right? I mean, we are bearish on the market. Don't get me wrong. As you know, we have two existing short positions on the Chainlink and the Ripple. This one is next in line, Litecoin, our next candidate for a new short position. Now here, we're going to be using a very specific trigger level. You can probably already guess. The level I'm talking about is 111.43. That level already proved to be a stiff support when it rejected, it fought back against price action just yesterday when it was trying to drill through. It actually managed to get much lower at that particular daily session. Again, we're talking about yesterday when it dropped to the lowest low was 106.16, more than 5 points beyond our trigger level. But just before the end of the day, it bounced back up and closed inside. Not to say that it's going to turn around, although it's a possibility, of course. But what I'm thinking is price action is gearing up for a breakdown. Once it secures that breakdown and establish itself below 111.43, at least with the daily close confirmation, that's going to be our cue to jump into position. Right, so we're getting ready. Now, what are we talking about? What is the chunk that we're after? It is this one from 111.43. Once we secure that breakdown and we pull the trigger, we're going to be chasing 96.45. The level, well, the key level itself, it's 96.43. But we're going to be rounding it up just a little bit to make sure we're going to get it, right? So 96.45, write this number down. That's the next big support level. That's a huge support level, actually. It's coming from the monthly chart. Let me show you the big picture so you can see where we're coming from with this, right? And it's not, I mean, this should be familiar to you guys because I have been here talking about the big picture of the Litecoin. So from the big picture perspective, monthly chart, we can dial back all the way to early June 2022. So we're talking about 2.5 years where price action has been trading sideways in a very wide range, I have to say, right? It's a very wide range. Every single leg inside of that range represents the major trend. Nevertheless, it has been trading sideways for the last 2.5 years. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Actually, if I break down the number of legs I can find here, I can clearly count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one, which is the current leg that's about to, well, I think it's about to find its ending. But it went all the way up to the last line of resistance, right? 131.57 and made contact. That was last month. Made contact, tried to penetrate, couldn't, right? Failed, got rejected. Then this month again went right at it, the same level, 131.57 in an attempt to break out. But again, it failed. It got rejected and it bounced back down. Now, from this point forward, I feel there's a good chance the price action will start to turn around for a full-fledged downside reversal and produce one more leg back to where it came from. So we're talking about the lower section of that range, starting with the massive, most important key level support of 57.10. So 57.10 is going to be our official profit target once we get that bearish campaign underway. But again, 57.10 is going to be our long-term profit target. We're talking about a big move coming from the monthly chart potentially, right? Potentially. But again, the failure to break above 131.57, I believe, is a very strong indication that a downside reversal is literally right around the corner. So, taking this again to the daily chart, to my execution chart, this is why we're looking at 111.43 here as the main trigger. Because once price action starts to crack through that 111.43, there's there's a high probability, let's put it this way, a very high probability that it will continue on this downside trajectory to that big and significant next major key level support that I've just mentioned, 96.45, right? That's going to be our official profit target. So guys, I'm super excited about this one. I'm pretty positive that we're going to be finding ourselves in position very soon. I'm talking about the next 24 to 48 hours. I believe we're going to be able to pull the trigger on a new short position with the Litecoin. Obviously, the only reservation I can have here at this point is if price action fails to break below 111.43 like it did yesterday. And it's going to start turning around and presenting some green, right? Some green action. If that's the case, obviously, we're not going to take any action. We're not going to be pulling the trigger. We're going to be looking for opportunities somewhere else, right? So that's really the bottom line of my game plan as far as the Litecoin goes. Hope you enjoyed that video. Wishing you a great trading day. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, same place.